Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks. I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to go get some Chinese food, and I'm really happy about that. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, though? Happens to be my Half Gain shirt. Yeah, with the Half Gain logo and such. If you're unfamiliar with Half Gain, apparently you don't watch enough of my videos. I've worn this one and other ones in the past. I'm just saying. But no, Half Gain, they were a band, I want to say, out of Arizona. I'm a little bit, yeah. But they were a nu metal band, basically, in like the early 2000s. They had a little bit of a run. You know, I don't think they were ever significant outside of sort of their local area, but I'm a big nu metal fan, and over the past like couple years especially, I've been really trying to branch out and like, you know, find all these more obscure bands. And I ended up running into Half Gain. As it turns out, there was actually a connection to another band that I like, a band called Dead, D-E-D. The lead singer of that was the lead singer of Half Gain, which is really cool. So when I got the opportunity, a friend of mine who was a graphic artist, he went over there and he made this shirt for me. Represent the Half Gain. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Chinese food, eh? So yeah, I'm not going to be reviewing that, though. I'm going to a Chinese buffet. You know, it's just for me. Just for me. But as I'm headed in that direction, I figured, you know what? I might as well get into a review. I didn't do any yesterday. I might as well do one today. So I was looking through, my my fridge of many things, seeing what I could review. And just recently I'd acquired this, and I was like, yeah, man, let's get it in, you know? So what am I reviewing? Happens to be, boom, from Jones Soda Company. This is their Sunset Sarsaparilla, which is part of their Fallout line of sodas. Jones Soda, they have that Fallout, licensing agreement or whatever the hell it is. So they've been releasing, a variety of these. They did like a grape soda, this one neon one, I can't remember what the hell it was. But I reviewed basically all the ones that I've run into. And this is one that I'm definitely excited for because I really like sarsaparilla. I'm a big fan. If you've never had it, it's kind of like a root beer, sort of like a, second cousin kind of deal. Very similar, though. And I love root beer. So much so I have an entire playlist called Root Beer Reviews, where I just put root beer related reviews. This is going to end up on there because it's close enough. But let's get a thing for the thing here, folks. It looks like this. We'll just kind of go, ha 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 ha. And, you twist, you twist. Ooh, it smells good. Like, that smells, like, I've had sarsaparilla before. It definitely, and again, very similar to root beer, but let's give it a go. Ooh. A lot of flavor to it. Like, from the moment that you take that first sip till the very end, like, it's a very consistent level of flavor. It hits nice, and then it just stays with it, It's not like a build-up or anything. Which is, to be fair, there's some good and bad to that, but let's go in for another sip. Never go off the first sip, folks. Yeah, okay. I like it. I'll just say that right now. I do like it. It wouldn't be what I would consider like a top shelf sarsaparilla, but at the same time, it's not a bad sarsaparilla either. I would put this in sort of like the C plus range. Like, it's better than average, but for one thing, like I was talking about with the good and the bad, it is nice that it hits with that flavor. and that it's consistent with it. But it does also mean that it's a very sort of one-note experience. There's no complexity to the flavor. It's just a nice sarsaparilla flavor, which isn't a bad thing, but it's, just something of note. It does have a little bit of that, it's probably, yeah. I don't think I don't know what the rules are when it comes to because sarsaparilla is like from a root, right? Or am I thinking of sassafras, or are they both roots? Whatever. Um, it does have a little bit of that sort of root beerish edge to it, which I do like. Um, so maybe not one-dimensional like 1.5. It at least has a little something to it. The overall flavor is nice. It's not. It doesn't hit particularly hard though, and for me, I prefer a harsher root beer. This is a decent root beer, but it feels very commercial, and that's not a bad thing. It's just for me personally, it doesn't play to the strengths of my palate. I just want there to be more there. And the thing is, when it comes to Jones, I've reviewed plenty of their sodas in the past, be it Fallout or otherwise. And, they can be a little bit of a mixed bag, but typically I respect them as being a quality brand. I will say, though, I've never been that huge into their root beer. This, I think I actually probably prefer to their root beer. But it's a little bit okay at best, It's not a bad experience at all, like, I'm enjoying it, but it's also nothing overly remarkable. And, that's kind of where I'm falling with this. Especially with this being, it's got the Fallout branding, a limited time thing. I kind of see it as like a little bit of I get where they were coming from. You're trying to sell it with the Fallout brand. But then at the same time, you're trying to sell it with the Fallout brand, Like, I feel like this is something you could have gone harsher with. Because they certainly did with whatever the fuck that neon soda was, like neon blue. That shit, they went fuck ton crazy hard with it. You can watch my review if you want. So I feel like they could have gone harder with this, and it probably would have been appreciated within, the sort of line that they're doing. But it's still pretty solid. It's a decent tasting root beer. It's not overly sweet, but it is sweet. And like I said, it has a little edge to it. I wish the carbonation level was a little bit higher too. Again, I like a root beer. It's got some bite to it. And yes, this is a sarsaparilla, but even then, it's solid, but unremarkable. 2 questions have to be asked though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Probably not, and kinda, I guess. For me personally, for one thing, I have no association with the Fallout franchise, so that doesn't do anything for me one way or another. Like, I'm reviewing it strictly as a soda. And strictly as a soda, as a sarsaparilla. Again, I've had worse sarsaparillas by far, but I've also had ones that were just all around better. This is solid enough. It hits the notes that it's supposed to hit, but again, it's just unremarkable. It doesn't really do anything to lend itself to me going over there and saying, you know what, I really want a nice sarsaparilla, let me go get the one from Jones Soda. That's kind of where I'm talking about. So for me personally, it's like if I really want a sarsaparilla, I have other brands I would go to way before this one. But at the same time, if it was available and for a decent enough price, for whatever reason, I just had sarsaparilla on the brain, sure, I guess, but that's why if I'm recommending it, it's kind of, who am I recommending it to? If you're a Fallout fan, you want it as a collectible, it's a decent enough tasting soda. I don't think you'll be mad at it. I think that's kind of the takeaway from this. Like, if you're a root beer fan, if you're somebody who likes sarsaparilla, that kind of thing, there's no reason to not. It's not a bad experience. It's just, again, just kind of, okay. If you're somebody who, maybe you're more casual, but again, maybe you've got the fan base, or maybe it just looks interesting to you, just be aware. It is going to taste very similar to root beer. And, whether you'll be in line with that type of root beer or not is kind of up to you. But if I had to sort of think more sort of like A&W, kind of vibes. But, yeah. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly root beer-tastic rest of your lives. I know it's sarsaparilla, but it's root beer. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, let me know. Have you tried sarsaparilla before? If so, do you like it? Do you prefer it to root beer? Do you think it's basically the same damn product? It's basically the same. Again, there's differences to it, but it's very similar. But yeah, let me know, because it is one of those things where it's around, but you don't usually get to experience it too often, depending on where you are. So let me know your experiences with it.